Today we're going to talk about energy balance. Energy balance is the most important thing when it comes to trying to lose weight and trying to gain weight. The scale has a lot of fluctuations, has a lot of variations in it that can cause it to go up and down. I'm not really worried about that as much as we are more concerned with energy balance and how to fully understand that and to dictate that in order for you to meet the goals that you're trying to meet. So energy balance is simply energy intake versus energy expenditure. Energy intake is very basic. It's your foods that you consume throughout the day, protein, carbs, fats, and alcohol, and fiber. Fiber is right around 1.2 to 2 calories per gram. Protein's 4 calories per gram. Carbs are 4 calories per gram. Fats are going to be the most calorie dense food per gram, and that's 9 calories per gram. And then alcohol, 7 calories per gram. So those are the things you want to think of when trying to calculate your energy intake for the day. So that'll be done in a macro calculator. That can be done however you want to do it. I prefer a chronometer, and that'll kind of give you your numbers for how many calories you're consuming throughout the day. Remember, calories are your energy. That's your main source of energy throughout the day. So whether or not you're going to be doing exercise, whether you're going to be doing any intensive studying or anything like that, the calories are what gives you fuel to perform. Carbohydrates are your brain's primary source. The carbohydrates are also your body's primary source, or your most readily used source of energy. Protein is going to always be required if you're trying to maintain lean body mass, looking at right around about 1.8 to 2.2 grams per kilogram. And then fats and alcohol within moderation, as long as you're within a certain guideline with the fats, that's fine. And then alcohol is just obviously a moderation thing. There's other things to alcohol. We don't really want to go into that right now. Energy expenditure is going to be these 4 components here, which is total daily energy expenditure, which is usually made up of your basal metabolic rate or your resting metabolic rate. Your basal metabolic rate is how many calories you burn at sleep, and your resting metabolic rate is how many calories you burn throughout the day when you're awake. That's going to be highly dependent on lean body mass. The more lean body mass you have, the more calories you're going to be able to expend throughout the day. Lean body mass consists of everything from muscles to your organs, and all that structure is there. Usually your organs make up more of the calories you burn throughout the day than your muscles. And this is going to be 60 to 75% of your energy expenditure for the day. Now, if you have, let's say, a high total exercise activity, so you exercise a lot throughout the day, whether it be like 3 or 4 hours, that's going to go down, and this will go up. So those are kind of the variances with those within those two. Total energy through thermic energy of food is going to be the next one, and that's just going to be the amount of energy you burn by consuming the foods that you eat and digesting it. So the more food you eat, the higher that goes up. The less food you eat, the lower that goes. Protein is about 15 to 25%. Carbohydrates 6%. Fats are 3%. Protein at a higher percentage of thermic effect is going to be something that you want to think about when you look at the higher protein feed-in studies, where people are eating a massive amount of protein and a calorie surplus, and they're still not gaining any body fat. This could be one of the reasons why. And then thermic effect of exercise activity. So that's just formal exercise. So that's just where you go to the gym or doing your cardio, anything like that. That's going to be that component. And then non-exercise activity, thermogenesis. This is what you do outside of exercise, outside of formal exercise. So that can be walking to the grocery store. That can be cleaning the house, doing laundry. A lot of it is done with like fidgety people. The more fidgety a person is, the more a person moves around, the more calories they're going to burn throughout the day. This can be anywhere from 100 to 600 calories. If you have someone that's super sedentary, that sits at a desk all day, they're not going to be burning as many calories as a person that stood up all day at a standing desk, or a person that has a walking desk. So that's what you want to think about. And this right here, which we'll go over in a separate video, is one of the biggest driving components when it comes to trying to actually lose weight. As we decrease our food, we tend to decrease our ability to want to do more throughout the day. We don't have as much energy, which is what food is, to perform daily activities. So we sit around more often. We'll do our formal exercise, which consists of cardio and weight training, but then when we get home, we don't have the energy to do the extra stuff throughout the day. And this can be a huge component to why people get stuck not dropping weight, or why people are having issues dropping weight. And we'll get into that in a separate video. But this is basically the idea of what energy balance is: intake versus expenditure. You want this to go up and be ahead of this when it comes to trying to lose weight, and you want this to increase and this to go down when it comes to trying to gain weight. And once you really wrap your head around those components here that make up energy expenditure, you'll have a better idea of why food is important, why these things need to be accurate, and why you can continue to progress one way or the other. There's really not much else that goes into weight loss when it comes to, like, these are the main points. There's other things that can affect your stepping on the scale, like we talked about in the beginning. But if this is lower or higher than this, then you're gonna reach your target goals. And we'll continue to talk about this stuff further and further when we get into NEAT, when we get into what your metabolism may or may not do, and things of that nature. But this is just your basic concept to make that progression with food selection, with exercise and stuff like that. So if you guys have any questions, just comment below and I'll be able to answer them. And thanks for watching the video.